Hello, folks. I'm the Old Sergeant. This is an outstanding letter about Biden's Build Back Better plan sent out by Oliver North and Dr. David Goetsch. Here is the letter.
Biden's Build Back Better fraud. No president has ever proposed a more egregiously misnamed piece of legislation than Joe Biden's so-called Build Back Better plan. The label progressive Democrats chose for this European-style socialist legislation is an example of their favorite ploy, semantic subterfuge, assigning an appealing name to an appalling concept. In reality, the plan is a socialist wealth redistribution ploy to erode America's free market economy and replace it with government control, burdensome regulations and ever higher taxes. When it comes to building back better, what Biden and the Democrats need to rebuild are the successful policies of the previous administration they destroyed in less than a year. If Joe Biden and his socialist puppet masters want to build America back better, they should start by cleaning up the mess they made of the booming economy they inherited. Biden and company could revive our now heavily inflated, failing economy by eliminating hundreds of burdensome regulations he imposed during his first days in office. Allowing our fossil fuel infrastructure to restore energy independence would ease our pain at the pump. Protecting Americans from patent and intellectual property theft would help American businesses thrive. Building back better should also include restoring America's credibility. Biden's callous, incompetent surrender in Afghanistan means we must urgently refocus our military on real threats from communist China and Iran and cease force-feeding our troops a diet of social justice tripe. We must also re-establish our southern border. Sequestering 2 million illegal immigrants in our country by year-end is an enormous economic burden. It also makes us a global laughingstock. The best way Joe Biden and his leftist fellow travelers can build our country back better is to stop pushing socialist policies, continually expanding government, raising taxes, increasing regulations, encouraging unemployment, and running small businesses out of business. Unfortunately, none of this will happen. The House of Representatives passed the misnamed Build Back Better Act on November 15 by a vote of 220 to 213. The legislation should be more appropriately labeled the Build Up Government Act. On the day Build Back Better passed in the House, the federal government cost taxpayers $2.13 million per minute. This cost grows every day Joe Biden is in office. The Congressional Budget Office estimates Build Back Better will increase America's burgeoning federal deficit by $367 billion. Dan Mitchell and Robert O'Quinn, writing for the Club for Growth Foundation, make additional points about the Build Back Better plan. The actual cost will be $5 trillion, not the $1.75 trillion claimed by Biden and company. The plan is financed by punitive, class warfare taxes undermining savings, investment, and entrepreneurship while diverting badly needed resources from the productive sector of our economy. Over the next 10 years the plan will cost Americans $3 trillion in economic output, $1.6 trillion in worker pay, a decrease of more than $10,000 in per worker income, and a 4% decline in Americans' standard of living. Biden's Build Back Better plan is a massive socialist fraud perpetrated by leftist ideologues who must believe Venezuela, where inflation is now more than 1,000% and people fight over scraps of food from garbage cans, is a utopian paradise rather than a dystopian disaster. We warned this would happen in a Biden administration in our book, We Didn't Fight for Socialism, America's Veterans Speak Up. President Biden accepted the socialists' green game plan of Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and added to it. If this bill passes the U.S. Senate, our grandchildren will be forced to endure a diminished quality of life unseen in America since the Great Depression. We the people must tell our U.S. senators, vote no.
Oliver North is a combat veteran of the United States Marines, #1 best-selling author and founder and CEO of Fidelis Publishing, LLC, and Fidelis Media, LLC. Dr. David Goetsch is a Marine Corps veteran, member of the Florida Veterans Hall of Fame, professor of business, Christian counselor, and author of 77 books. The letter was copyright 2021 by Oliver North and David Goetsch. Spread this far and wide. We need this information out there. I will provide a link to the letter in the description section. I am the Old Sergeant. Stay informed, prepared, prayerful, grateful, and as always, stay vigilant.